Hey there, it's Brittany. I am back with a different type of video this time. In one of my last videos, I did a haul where I showed this pendant, and I mentioned in the video I thought about making, before I even received this pendant, a pendant that looked kind of like it out of polymer clay. And one of my, I think she subscribes to my channel, one of the viewers, Leah, said she would love to see me try and make something like this out of polymer clay. So I've kind of shied away from making anything out of polymer clay on camera because I've only been doing it for about a year, and I am definitely not an expert. So we'll see how it goes. I've already prepared some gold polymer clay. So I'll grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have a little piece of gold polymer clay on my tile. This is the tile that I use to make or cut out shapes on. I do bake on a tile, but I also bake or cure the clay on top of a piece of cardstock so that I don't get a shiny finish on the back. So let me show you where that pendant looks. This is gold in polymer clay, but it's not gold like this, right? So after I bought this, I remembered I had this cutter. I got this cutter from a store that is currently closed, and it was a closeout because it was seconds. It kind of came in like a mix of cutters that were seconds. So I haven't ever tested it. So I thought, after I bought this, I was like, oh, I had that swirl cutter. I could have made it myself, but I'm glad I did buy this because it's much larger than the swirl, and it's a little different. So today I'm going to see if I can recreate something that looks like this. I know it's not going to be, this is manufactured, it's not going to be like this metal pendant, but I can make something similar. And in the long run, making things out of polymer clay is way cheaper than buying, a pendant here and there. So we'll see how it goes, and thanks for sticking with me while we make something. So this color is Sculpey Primo Accents in 18 karat gold. You can't tell from the picture right here, but it is a pearl clay, and so it has mica powders throughout the clay. I've already conditioned it. I'm not going to show you how to condition clay. If you're watching this and attempting to make your own pieces, I'm going to assume that you've watched a video on conditioning clay. If not, there are tons on YouTube, tons of beginner videos. I think those people have done a really fantastic job, and right now I'm not up to making a video like that. Another thing I'm going to do to make it shinier, which I think it'll end up being a little bit shinier than the piece that I'm copying or using as my inspiration piece, I am going to use some foil leaf, some gold foil leaf, and it's a composite, so it's not true gold. And I'm sorry, I'm getting gold everywhere right now. So they come, I got mine at Hobby Lobby. They come in these stacks like this. This is a piece that I've already used on something, but I'm gonna come in and get a fresh piece since I want to have like a really nice finish. Sorry, I've been using a lot of this apparently. I haven't used it in quite a bit of time though. So I'm gonna come in. This is stuck, well, it's kind of stuck on my board, but I'm gonna take the foil, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to slowly put it on top of my clay. And if you sneeze, this stuff will go everywhere. So sorry if you can see my reflection. I'm not dressed up today. So we have an issue there. We'll just slowly tamp that down. And already this is going to be a little bit different than our inspiration piece. I'm totally okay with that. Mistakes are awesome, especially with polymer clay, because sometimes it doesn't turn out like you wanted it to, but even better. So I'm just smoothing this down as gently as I can, and I'm going to start peeling away the excess. Okay. And yes, you're going to need some patience. I don't know how I have tons of patience for jewelry making things. In real life, I'm a pretty patient person with people too, but I tend to have way more patience for jewelry. So just kind of slowly dab it on the parts that are still open. Yes, I'm not going to use all this clay just for one pendant, but I can probably make a matching pair of earrings somehow. So these little pieces, don't throw those out. Those are great for making other pieces later on. So I'm going to dab that down, and I'm just going to slowly peel this away. And I'm seeing I'm missing a piece right here. So we're just going to do that. Sorry, I'm trying to get that on there without damaging the rest. All right, so. And then I just have like a little baggie that I put the leftover pieces in. You will have some, 3 days from now, I'm sure I'll be finding gold in my carpet, but you know, that's one of the hazards of being an artist or a crafter, right? Glitter, gold, shiny things everywhere. All right, so I have a little bit stuck on my fingers, but I'm totally okay with that. We have a little bit hanging around. I want to just rub that in. Okay, it's not going to be perfect because I kind of was a little fast in removing it from the sheet, but I actually really like how that looks. It's going to be a different look than the pendant, but I'm okay with that. I don't want two pendants of the same thing. So here's, I mean, that's kind of close actually. It's really close in color. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is hope that my cutter, I don't think I've ever tried to cut through foil before, but I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. So just find an area on your slab that you like, and I'm just going to go right here in the center, okay? Just for reference, I rolled this I rolled this clay out on a pasta machine on the thickest setting. If you don't have a pasta machine, a couple of popsicle sticks and an acrylic roller or a rolling pin or a glass bottle will be totally fine. You don't have to get a ton of supplies to start with polymer clay. As a matter of fact, I would recommend watching Turtlesoupbeads, Susan Bailey. She has fantastic videos for beginners, and she even says, like, she has videos where she used just regular tools instead of fancy polymer clay tools. So again, I definitely recommend Turtlesoupbeads. Susan Bailey's pretty awesome. I learned from her. So I'm going to place this right here, okay, right in the middle, and I usually press with just my fingertips, but if it's a sharper cutter, like a metal cutter or a larger cutter, sometimes I get an acrylic block and press it down with that. I don't have an acrylic block next to me, so I'm going to try and press with my fingers, and if I don't think that's good enough, then I'm going to go grab one. So I'm just going to slowly exert enough pressure. Now with this cutter, I am not going to rock it back and forth. Rocking it back and forth does create some distortion in your piece, and I want a very clear spiral image, okay? I don't want a wonky image, so I'm just going to keep pressing. Sorry, my hands are so dried out from washing them, and today was 99 degrees in Arizona. So on April 24th, we have 99 degrees. I think that's pretty early, but I am happy. I moved here for hot weather, so I took a huge walk, and my hands are all swollen from how hot it was outside. So anyway, sorry, I get off topic. So it's pretty pressed in there. That is going around. So if it was a circle, what I would do is twist. This is not a circle, and that will mess up my spiral. So normally, I don't usually pull the clay apart around the cutter. I usually grab the cutter out. I've pressed in. I know that's done. I'm not going to wiggle. I'm going to pull up with even pressure, and there is our spiral. So that's the first part of my piece. Now there was a little bit of distortion from where the cutter pulled up, but it's totally fine. Now, the reason why I chose gold clay with a gold overlay of the foil is because, as you can see, it cracks and it distorts. That's what happens with clay. It's not going to stay in a regular sheet. So I wanted to make sure that a coordinating color was underneath. Now, I've definitely done things before where I did different colors underneath an overlay foil. I have the foil in a couple different colors. I have it in gold, silver, and I actually have it in rose gold too. So you can do a black pendant with gold overlay, and actually that might be really cool, but I was going for something that looked similar to my other pendant because that's what I mentioned in my other video. So right now I'm going to grab this extra up, and see this tail right here is pulling up. I'm going to grab my razor blade. I'm going to make a cut so we can pull away from the tail on this guy without damaging it. He's a little fragile. And then, as I will always tell you, and any polymer clay artist will tell you, please don't throw away your scraps. They are worth their weight. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to snip this again, it's pulling away. I'm going to go grab my X-Acto knife. I should have brought it with me. And I'm going to cut that so we can get the inner spiral away from the outer spiral. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to just grab my craft knife, my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to slowly drag through that groove, because what I believe is happening is that foil made it pretty hard for the cutter to get all the way to the tile. So and the good thing is the cutter gave us a great outline in which to cut. And if you just go slowly, you don't have to rush this part, and if you do, you'll end up making mistakes like I just did. So I'm going to grab this with the tip of my knife, slowly pull up. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Press that part down. This will make amazingly beautiful coordinating beads to go with the pendant. And you know what? I will make, before I post this video, I will make those coordinating beads, and I will make a necklace out of this piece so you guys can see what I actually do with piece I've made. Okay, so there's our spiral. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed with it. I'm so happy I decided to make this video. Thank you, Leah, for the encouragement. Okay, so we just want to clean it up a little bit, and you want to be careful. So it was 99 degrees here today. It's a little warm in my apartment. I keep my air conditioning around 80 degrees. It's a dry heat, so it's not that bad. But the warmer it is in your apartment, the softer this clay is going to be, or your house, or wherever, clay studio, whatever, wherever you are. The warmer the clay is, the softer it is going to be. You can put it in a rich refrigerator. You can put it in the freezer if you want it to firm up a little bit. I'm okay with handling it right now, but we just want to be super careful when we're cleaning this up. The reason why I want to clean this up prior to baking is because this is going, with that finish, it's going to be really hard to sand. And P.S., I don't like sanding. It takes a lot of time. And the more work you can do before you bake it, any not grooming, but, you know, any pre-work you can do to help along your process is going to really save you time. So I'm just slowly removing extra clay from the sides and the remnants of the cutter pressing down, because these are fantastic cutters, but even metal cutters will leave a halo sometimes. So no matter how sharp your cutter is, sometimes you have some cleanup. Now, what are you going to do if you don't have a cutter? Draw it out on a piece of paper, cut it out with an X-Acto knife or a fussy cut scissors, and you can do the exact same thing without a cutter. You do not need fancy tools to be a polymer clay artist. That is the one thing I've learned, and it's so fun. It's just so much fun learning and growing in this field. So, okay, I'm not going to take this off. Normally I will bake things on a tile, piece of paper on the tile. So the issue I'm going to have with this is it's super fragile. And by super fragile, I mean, I can pull it up. It's not going to break. It's not going to break on me, okay? Because it's liquid right now, or fluid, I should say. What I will do is if I slide my razor blade underneath it, this tail is going to lose the definition, and I really want it to cure in this formation. I don't want a wonky spiral. I want this spiral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my oven. Yes, you can bake the foil. I have an electric oven that's actually pretty amazing. I've never burned anything with respect to clay. And Primo's recommended bake time, baking temperature is 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and I bake it for 1 hour. The longer you bake it, the stronger and more flexible it'll be. So I will go ahead, bake this. I'm not going to put a bail on it right now because I don't know what kind of bail I want to put on it. We can always do that after baking, and you can always rebake a piece too. So I'm going to go ahead and bake this for 1 hour at 275 degrees. I will come back. The lighting might be different because it's 5:15 on a Friday night right now, and so I don't know if I'll be videoing this on the same day, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bake this, and then we'll be back and I'll show you how to either put a bail on it. Actually, I take all of that back. So what I forgot is this has the texture on it. Now I really like how this looks with the texture from the foil. So one thing I want to try, and I had a tool here somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. We can try it on our little scrap piece right here. I'm just gonna put this back down. So I brought my ball tool, and I wanted to check to see, sorry guys, I'm not that coordinated right now. Just grab a little piece. I wanted to check to see if I could recreate that texture. So let's see. What I would just do is press in to the clay, and make, ooh, I like that, guys. I really like it, that hammered metal look. So sorry, I always hit the camera. This one has the metal, the like hammered look is more spread out, but so I have some practicing to do. So we'll put that there, and I'll use that as my inspiration. And you can, so I'm just doing a little one, but if you do a bigger one and you push a little harder, it's deeper and it's larger. I don't like that one. It's showing too much. So, but if we can make it oval. These are more oval on this one, like by rocking it. Do you see how many different looks we can achieve just by using one tool? You don't have this? Totally fine. Use a pencil eraser. Use the end of your craft knife. Use a pen, like a clicky pen. The top of the clicker part. I like how it looks with these. When I roll it a little bit, it elongates the divots. So I'm trying to decide which one I want on my piece forever. But the cool thing is I have more clay. I can make 2 pendants. Let me see how this looks, like more spread out. I like the softer look. Like this is really pretty, and I'm going to end up doing something like that with a different piece, but I'm thinking I like this look for the spiral a little bit more. So let me move my tester out. I'm gonna go ahead. It's always nerve-wracking trying something new, especially with a piece that I already like how it looks. But the cool thing is, you don't like it, clay is so forgiving. Change it or ball it up, make a new piece. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and these are even different than how I did it over here. These are a little bit longer because the camera's in the way. I'm just going to go ahead and keep rocking my little ball tool and making some hammered metal. I'm going to go through, maybe I'll just keep this part in and I'll speed it up for you guys. I've never tried that before, so if you don't see the next part, that means because I didn't figure out how to speed it up and I just deleted it, but I will try and speed it up for you guys. Okay, looks like we're done. I'm gonna maybe do another dot in a couple places. You know, it's always nice to just double check. And if you feel like there are some areas where you need to fill in some more metal foil, you need to fill in more dots, that's totally fine. This is your piece. Nobody's telling you what it has to look like, right? So I honestly, right now, I'm like so thrilled with how this looks. Another thing I would like to do, and I don't think I have a clay cutter, I can go grab one, is I would want to make some matching beads. And there are several ways you can do that. So let's say, in the way to making semi-similar beads would be to use any size cutter. So pretend this is just a circle cutter, any size cutter, and it'll make consistent beads. Let's say I want a strand of 10 beads. I would cut out the same size cutter 10 times and then use that as a guide for making my beads. I'm gonna make one bead on screen here, and actually I'm gonna make a couple beads on screen, and then I'll show you just a couple ways I make coordinating beads. These are not going to be focals. I do different types of beads for focals, but these are just going to be coordinating beads that I can put in whatever project I use if I decide I want beads, because this is so beautiful, you can just put that on a piece of chain and you'd be good to go. So I'm going to cut this in half. I don't know how much clay that is. Normally I would get a circle cutter and just cut like a 1-inch circle. I'm going to grab one of my pieces, and I'm going to mess this up. It looks very beautiful this way, but I'm going to put it in my hand, and I'm going to roll it. I'm just going to fold it over, and I'm going to roll it between my hands. I'll make it into a circle. You can do this against the table. You could do it in your hand. So what that comes up as is you end up seeing more of the gold. So if you decided to do this with like black clay, you'd see part of the black clay and then you'd see part gold. I don't know that this is the look I'm going for to go with this, but do you see that they match? Yes. So this one's a little bigger than I wanted, but it's fine. There are two ways that you can turn this into a bead instead of just a ball. So I'm just making it a little more round, And I have skewers. I'm going to skewer this. Sorry, I'm going to skewer this. And I'm going to put it in a rack. And I'm going to cure it at the same time and temperature as my pendant. There are many different bead shapes, obviously. You can make barrels. You can make ovals. You can do anything. This one's just going to stay this size and this shape, just so I can show you after it's finished. But I'm going to actually take this one. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna roll it into a ball. And there we go. And if you don't like how much or how little foil is on there, guess what? What did we have? We had leftovers. So let me grab some. Sorry, there's like a piece on my foot. I'm gonna grab it. And of course it doesn't want to be picked up. So here, I grabbed a piece. We just put that in our palm and keep rolling. And now this one has more, some of it's rolling off on my palm because it won't stick to foil that's already on there, but it certainly will stick to the parts that doesn't have foil. So I'm going to keep rolling. Sorry, it's off camera, but I'm going to keep rolling. This is one of the shapes that I do quite often when I make my own coordinating beads, because I think it's a funky, fun shape, and nothing has to be, you know, your beads don't always have to be round. So, but that's not what I'm going for right now. I'm going for, there's a different shape that I want. So I'm going to get it as close to a ball as I can, and then I'm just going to, sorry, it keeps focusing on the thing in the background. I'm going to squish. You know I like saying squish, guys. You know that. So, yes, there's a fingerprint on here. All we have to do is just smooth that out a little bit. And this will be between, this is a spacer bead. So we have a nice spacer bead. I do want some more foil on this one, so I'm going to probably roll it. There we go. I had an extra piece on my finger. Again, I don't think this is gold enough for me, but if at the end I don't like it after it's baked, I can do so many different things. Like, you know me, I like painting things. So I can paint this gold. I have gold pens. I can put some glue all over it, like a very fine, thin covering of glue, and do more gold leaf. Options are endless. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make some matching coordinating beads, and I'm gonna pop everything in the oven for 1 hour at 275, and then I'll be back and I'll show you everything finished. Okay, I am back. I wanted to show you the piece after it came out of the oven, and I've already glazed it. I use several different methods for sealing my polymer clay pieces, depending on what the finish is and what what I'm sealing and what I would like to accomplish with the piece and what look I'm going for. So this, I didn't want it to look like there was a glaze on here, and if it could be seen, I wanted it to be very minimal. So I ended up using a method that I learned from an artist that I mentioned earlier in this video. Her name is Susan, and she runs Turtlesoupbeads. So let me show you the finished, well, semi-finished pendant. So here we go. Isn't that amazing? So because I cured it while it was on a shiny surface, the back is pretty shiny. I don't think you can actually see, yeah, you can see some of the shine. Now, if I had used a piece of cardstock on top of the tile, this would be a little bit more matte on the back, but I'm not worried about the back, and I'm not actually going to finish the back. Sometimes I do finish the back of my pieces, but this one's would be a little fussy to finish, and I had to sand off a lot of ragged edges, and it wasn't due to the fault of the cutter. It was because I had this finish on top, and it's just a very intricate piece. So something I wanted to touch upon that I didn't earlier in this video is you don't want to make something an exact copy of somebody else's work, of somebody else. I mean, that's just common sense. Like, it's not nice. don't do it. Artists work really, really hard to develop their own products. Even the person who designed this worked really hard to design this product. This is definitely inspired by this, but it's not a direct copy. I didn't didn't use this as a template to you know, cut out of my clay. I'm not reproducing these to sell. I'm not doing anything like that. It is an inspiration piece to develop a style that looks like hammered metal on clay. Now, it is a big topic. Please don't use the things you learn in this video to go on Instagram or YouTube or whatever and look up another artist's work and just flat out copy them. I think that's just rude. You can use things as inspiration. I think if I wasn't doing a video like this, I would have definitely changed this up a little, make it silver, make it a different shape. But this is a cool technique to learn how to make hammered metal out of polymer clay. Something I am going to do before I finish this piece and put it on a necklace is cover the sides with my gold leafing pen. And I'll seal that too. So I wanted to show you what these look like. You can definitely tell this one is inspired by this piece, but they're very, very different. So I will go ahead and show you some other things that were inspired. I made some other pieces to turn into a matching earring. So I have these little guys. I made wonky circles and used the hammered metal look. And then I made some smaller circles. So I think I'm going to make a pair of studs out of one set of these, and then I'm going to make some dangles using these components. I also put these dangles, these larger ones, next to some of my ceramic style beads that I've made, and they looked amazing. So I am trying to decide if I want to make another set and turn those others into earrings or just use these. So I haven't decided yet, but I wanted to show you what these looked like after I baked them and after I sealed them. And I will be back once I decide. I haven't decided yet how this is going to look once I'm finished with it. I don't know if I'm going to do it this way or this. Actually, I kind of like that way the most, but you could hang it this way. I think I'm going to hang mine this way, which is how I cut it out in the first place. And I haven't decided if I'm going to use a pinch bail like this one, or if I'm going to drill a hole and just tie leather, or how I'm going to bead it yet. So, but I wanted to show you how it came out of the oven, and then I'll be back and show you the finished look. Okay, welcome back. My necklace, this necklace that I created, went in a direction totally different than anything I had planned. So have you ever bought beads online, and thought that they were going to be awesome, and turned out they weren't what you were expecting? I've had these beads for years, and they're just sitting in my stash, and I was like, I'm going to die with these beads, and never even used, but I am in love with them today and how I used them on this necklace. So here, I only have one left. Here's the bead. I know it looks freaking crazy. I got it years ago, I think from dollarbead.com. And when I saw it, I was like, in person, I was like, oh no, what am I going to do with these? But I kept them. I think I have them in turquoise too, like a turquoise color, but they were this weird green, and I think it's like an emerald green now, and they had yellow paint and gold paint, and this side had like red on it. Ugh. So anyway, I ended up using them because I loved how the green looked with the matte gold. And you guys, this necklace, I'm shocked, and I tried it on and I just love it so much. So here we go. It's not too long. It looks long in the video, but it isn't that long. So, of course, I don't have my, not a measuring tape, but ruler by me. But, so it extends a little bit because it's a little bit of a Y necklace. So the two sides of the necklace connect right here to a jump ring. So this is actually a split ring, and if you've seen some of my haul videos, you'll know that this was from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I loved how they look because I thought that they looked like bamboo. Well, with this pendant that I made, it looks like hammered metal. So it's just, you never know when or how your components are going to come together. I think that's why I'm so obsessed with beads, because and I'm never in a million years when I bought these beads did I think that they would come together after I learned how to use polymer clay into such a beautiful earthy piece. So I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see all at once because of how the camera is, but there's most of it. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. I've been wearing it in the house since I put it on, or since I finished it, and while I was creating the coordinating pieces. So here's the pendant, all finished, and I did paint the sides with my gold leafing pen, and I use this Krylon 18 karat gold leafing pen. It is amazing. I have it in silver, I have it in rose gold or copper, and I haven't used those yet, but it's amazing. And I'm so in love with this pendant. I am in love with these beads, which I thought I would never ever love. And this was a secondary strand that I'd gotten to match. And you never know when colors are going to come back in style. When I bought these, it's got to be 4 years ago at least, this color was not in style. So, and I also got this clasp at Hobby Lobby on clearance. So it just really pulled together. It's matte. All the metal is matte gold, except for these spacer beads, which also came from Hobby Lobby, but they look like they're hammered metal. Ooh, and do you see this? I need to cut this. It's an extra little piece of my crimp. Usually I don't let them come down to the beads, but I was rushing today, so I'll cut that. I'll trim that. It won't affect the necklace at all. But yeah, I labored over this. I've been making this video for like 5 days, and I'm just so happy with the finished product. So I didn't stop here. You did see that I made some components for some earrings. I ended up making 3 pairs of earrings. So I wanted to show you just a plain old pair of studs. These I actually might wear. I used gold plated studs. My ears are so sensitive that these might even bother them, and I can't really wear heavy earrings. So I love making earrings, but I normally won't wear them more than one day, because then a week after I wear the earrings, my ears are sore. But there's the plain studs. Then I made a very, very simple pair of dangles because this necklace is so crazy. These are some like emerald faceted fire polish beads that I had in my stash. And here are the hammered metal, faux hammered metal rings that I made to match the pendant. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to have to wear these. And because they're polymer clay, they're actually pretty light. They're very light. Polymer clay has no weight to it at all. So if these were actual hammered metal, there's no way I could wear them. But I might be able to pull this off for about a half a day. But I just thought they looked so fantastic with this just funky, fun look. Oops, sorry. Of course, I'm showing you and then I drop everything. Okay, so I just thought that was really fun. And then another look I decided to go with was just a plain gold with some brass stamped monstera leaves. And I love my plants. This green reminds me of all the greenery around me, of my monstera plants, every plant in my house. And I just thought, why not? Originally, I was going to go with, so I was inspired by some artisan beads that I made by myself, or made for myself, but ended up not going with because I didn't have enough of them. But this was my inspiration to start going with green. And if it had matched a little bit better, I probably would have gone with these on the earring. But I just think these are fantastic. But these look great with it too. So I am going to say, if you're a polymer clay artist, try doing this. It's easy, it's fun, and gold goes with anything. Silver goes with anything. Rose gold, you can put this with anything. So it's just so fun. So it's rewarding to come up with something that you weren't expecting, and all from a piece, an inspiration piece. Oh, and I forgot to show you the bracelet. So here we go. Here's the bracelet. It is so fun and funky. These are from ChristineWhiteStyle.com. And then I still use these same beads that I used throughout the rest. And I'm just so lucky that I had these beads from her website and thought, you know, why not use them right away? I might end up making another matching bracelet, but I just love having a complete set, and that's usually what I do and how I create. If I'm making something for myself, and I'm absolutely keeping this because a lot of work went into it, and it's my style. I wouldn't expect anybody else to wear something I wouldn't wear, and I'm just in love with this. I will, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I implore you to find something in your house, not even just a pendant. Like, this was my inspiration piece, okay? I have plans for this. I'm so excited I bought this from Christine White Style, but I have other plans for this, and I wanted to test to see if I could do something similar. Now that I have this technique, I'm gonna make several different things. I'm gonna make one in silver, and maybe not a spiral, but maybe I'll make a heart or a cactus or a circle or a sun or anything like that. So that's the one thing I really like about polymer clay, is it tests your creativity. So let me know if you were inspired. If you want to see more videos like this, I'll be happy to do it. And watch out for a finished jewelry video very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I love talking with you guys in the comments. I have pretty good conversations with a few of you, and you guys inspire me to make more videos and go outside my comfort zone. So thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.